With our subscription, tenant, and instances in place, let's take some time to address something that happens twice a year, and that is dealing with updates. Updates become available twice a year, and there are several details that are important to keep in mind when they become available. So our objectives for this module is to walk through and discuss these details. By the end of this module, you will have a better understanding regarding how to manage and approve updates to Dynamics 365. When it comes to Dynamics 365 Online, updates are something we have to manage twice a year. Customers are required to approve these updates on a process called Customer Driven Update or CDU. Customers have the options to skip an update, but they cannot skip two in a row, as one of the most important advantages of adopting Dynamics 365 Online is to take advantage of the latest and greatest functionality Microsoft releases twice a year. This means that at some point, updates are mandatory. For example, if a customer decides to skip an update, the next update will be mandatory and the customer will select a date to update their instances within the CDU timeframe. A date is selected for the customer instance, but the customer can postpone the update to a later time. However, the CDU timeframe is limited, which means that the instances will be updated automatically at the end of the allowed time at the latest. This table shows the recent versions of Dynamics 365. It is important to note that in the past, some of the versions were not released to the on-premise version of Dynamics 365, and also that other patches might be released in between major version releases. As you can see on this table, the last three releases are Dynamics CRM 2016, Dynamics CRM 2016 Service Pack 1, and Dynamics 365, each of them, as you can see, within about 6 months from each other. Sometimes you will need to quickly find which version you're running in an instance. In the web application, click Settings on the navigation bar and then About. The version is shown in the About window. So in this instance, the version is 8.2.0. The other three digits, 729, reflect the build number. It is this number that increases when patches are applied. Skipping updates is one of the tasks that can be performed as part of the customer-driven update process. Now, as we mentioned earlier, depending on the version of the instance that's running, customers may elect to skip updates. So for example, here we have two scenarios. In the first row, a customer is on the 2016 release and decides to take all of the updates that are made available. However, in the second row, a customer who's in the 2016 release decides not to take 2016 Service Pack 1, but will go to Dynamics 365 when made available so they can skip the 2016 Service Pack 1 and go straight to Dynamics 365. I personally always advise customers to update twice a year. That way, if something really requires a lot of work in order to update to the next version, they will have the option to skip that update and focus on fixing what needs to be updated in order to be ready for the next version coming out in 6 months. If the customer makes a habit of following the bottom model of this slide and they find out they need to update a huge amount of customizations when it is time to update, they won't be able to skip it and they will have to rush to get it all done in time for the mandatory update to take place. Dynamics 365 system admins receive plenty of notification before, during, and after the update process is completed. Some emails might be even sent to users. I have noticed that improvements have been introduced to the notification process over the last couple of versions of Dynamics 365, so make sure you refer to the schedule in TechNet to get the latest details on the notification process regarding Dynamics 365 updates. On the last chapter, we talked about instances and how they're managed separately. Updates are also part of this individual instance management process, so they have to be approved individually per instance. And just like the task we discussed on the last module, approving and rescheduling updates is also done through Dynamics 365 Admin Center. When updates become available, notification emails are sent to ad administrators and extra recipients configured to receive notifications at the instance level. Also, a notification is shown in the web application when admins log in. Individual instance updates can be reviewed and managed in Dynamics 365 Admin Center. Here you can see the process that admins can walk through to approve an update for an instance. After they open the Dynamics 365 Admin Center, the admin can select an instance and click on the Manage Updates. Here, the admin can see the region the instance is located on and also has the ability to select the target version they need to update to, and then schedule when the update will be performed. Once the instance is approved by clicking on Approve Update, everything will be set and the update will take place on that date. If an organization realizes that the update needs to be rescheduled, the admin can click on the Reschedule Updates on the Dynamics 365 Admin Center and select a new date within the CDU timeframe to complete the update. Here's a good checklist of items that customers can follow when updating a Dynamics 365 instance. The first step for a successful and smooth update is to know when the update is scheduled for and to involve the partner if needed to ensure that all of the customizations are compatible with the next version of Dynamics 365. Stay on top of notifications to confirm when the updates will be implemented, and one of my favorite best practices is to leverage a sandbox instance to verify that all of the customizations are compatible with the newest version by performing either a minimal or full copy of the production instance into sandbox and then updating that instance first to test all of the functionality before approving the update for the production instance. And also, it is best practice to notify the users regarding the update and when some of the functionality will be available for them to learn and or use. In summary, this module focused on the skills needed to manage Microsoft Dynamics 365 updates. We examined the Dynamics 365 update policy, and we learned how to determine the updates that are available for each of the instances within a subscription. We describe how to approve and reschedule updates, and also explain how important it is to verify that any customizations and third-party add-ons in the Dynamics 365 instance will work after an update is completed.